Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? This is your boy Isaac.
And this is your boy Bryce.
And we are brothers on tennis. And folks, we got yet another week of some good tennis to talk to y'all about. Man, Bryce, this last week was popping, I have to say. Even for it to be like the 250s and what have you, it really was a good week, bro. What were your thoughts on it, man?
I agree. I just think we're going to see a lot of really good tennis these days because people are out here trying to play, trying to make some money, opportunities are kind of thin. So I can't wait for us to dive into not only the good tennis that we had last week, but we have the Miami Open starting tomorrow.
Right.
And I don't know whether you want to call it the fifth or the sixth Grand Slam, where you throw Indian Wells in there or not. It was always fifth for me because Indian Wells fell when the Williams sisters stopped going.
Correct.
They're back in the day. So what's up, Sasha? So I'm excited. And the one thing that I do want to say to people is the media has tried to make a whole big thing about, the big three aren't there on the men's side. Serena pulled out. And while all of that is true, and while, those are huge marquee names, to lose for a pretty major tournament, just about everybody else is going to be there. So it is going to be a fire tournament.
Exactly, bro. And you know what's so cool that's kind of happening right now, Bryce? And especially when the big three are kind of away. It really levels the playing field. And you go into these tournaments like, who gonna show up? Who gonna get it done? And to me, I think the storyline and the narrative just gets so much more interesting when you actually don't have them there. Not that we don't want them there, because we miss our big three. We enjoy them, and their dominance over the years has been absolutely incredible. But when they are not there, it's always, to me, an indication of, all right, who is going to step up and seize the opportunity? Who is going to step up and show that, you know what, I am here. I am that next gen who's ready to take that mantle. I think it's going to be a great couple weeks in Miami, bro.
And I failed to mention that team is not there as well.
That's right.
So if I'm sure Medvedev is looking at this like, okay, I need to just regulate on all these folks down here and make sure that they understand,
I tell you what, though, quietly, who he probably don't want to face is his own damn countrymen. Because I'm trying to tell y'all folks, Aslan Karatsev, I got to get my boy name right, because Bryce, I'm trying to tell you, you and I, y'all better recognize, we were looking at that dude when he first stepped on the scene, and we were like, who is this guy? He is playing balls out tennis, and his tennis has only gotten better and better and better. And Bryce, I'm jumping all, and let me just reserve myself, because I got a lot to say on that gentleman. He is fire.
Now, I have a question. Now, you may have had a different experience than I did. I didn't catch him when he first came on the scene years ago. I just got him when he came back.
Correct. I got him when he came back. I still to this day do not understand how someone can flip a switch in that manner to be completely not even. I've never seen Aslan Karatsev. I never saw his name. I mean, prior to the pandemic, I literally never saw his name. And then the fact that he just kind of slid out there after the pandemic, and I was, and like I said, you and I talked about him. We were like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
It's something wrong there. I don't understand how anyone can just not be on the scene whatsoever.
Right.
Pre-pandemic, and then be showing out like this, Bryce.
I know. It's crazy, man.
I am dumbfounded.
And I tell you what, this is some excitement that I think the tennis world needed.
Yes.
It's really raised the awareness of spectators as to who is, this, Aslan Karatsev, and it sparked some excitement, some interest here. outside of the big three, and I tell you what, I don't know if they playing Davis Cup this year or not, but what country is going to beat Russia?
None.
What country is going to beat Russia?
Bryce.
I mean,
Russia gonna put the smack down. You better not get up in there as another country thinking you gonna do some things, because Russia gonna be like, listen. If we ain't got number one, we got number two. If we ain't got number two, we got number three.
Right,
and I ain't even including Kachanov up in there. Right now, it's just it is Mehdi, it is Aslan, and it is Rublev. To me, those three right now are by far the three hottest players on the men's tour. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
I mean, how is it that you got this run in 500s and it's your countrymen that has to stop that run? Bruh. Go ahead.
Now, I think there's a story in that as well, because does Rublev have an issue playing his countrymen? Because he hasn't been getting up on Khachanov, he hasn't been getting up on Medvedev, and then Karatsev just comes out like, well, I'm going to join the party too,
Exactly. I'm going to take my turn.
Right. So is it because they practice with him and they understand that he's just got this one style of play and they know how to combat it? Or does Rublev actually have a mental type thing here with playing the other Russians?
I think it's a little bit of both, to be very honest with you, because if I look at Rublev's game, he really shouldn't be having any problems with Khachanov. Of all of them, he really shouldn't be having no problem with Khachanov. Now, I get Aslan, because see, I get so excited when because Bryce, I love that dude's game, man.
Does he feel like he's like a kid of ours?
Yes.
Because there's only so many times in a sport or whatever that you get on somebody before everybody else does, and they actually come through. And somebody reminded me on social media the other day, they were like, yeah, John McEnroe, when he was commenting, was like, he hadn't even heard of the guy. And we had already promoted this guy, on our podcast.
Well, he was dissing him at the Australian Open, talking about who is this guy. And Johnny Mac can be all kind of crazy at times. But yeah, he was putting a diss on, and you and I were looking at like, you better put some respect on that boy's name.
Right.
Put some respect on that boy's name, because he ain't out here trying to play, dude. Aslan Karatsev.
And I just want to respond to a couple of these comments that I see coming through. So number one. Yeah, I do agree. Italy would probably be one of the countries that would challenge for the Davis Cup. They won't win, though.
Yeah, they got a little bit more that they need to get done. But I tell you what, now, again, I don't want to dip off to another subject, but Bryce, I have to say, and you mentioned this before, I wasn't quite there just yet with him, but that damn Musetti, Musetti was like, no, you better not underestimate me. I got game, yo. I got game. Yes, he announced himself for me.
He did. He really did. And to this, to Corey, who's saying they're making American men's tennis look like fools. No, American men's tennis is making themselves look like fools. Let's be very clear. That is all their product in their own hands. We had an interview this weekend with Jamie Loeb, up and coming woman on the WTA, American NCAA champion in singles, and we kind of posed a question to her. We were like, the American women are clowning. What's going on with the American men? And she was like, yeah, we kind of holding it up for the crew right now. So even the women know that they're holding it down for the men.
They know what's up. And yeah, we've had our topic on our men, and it has not changed. I mean, I always hope for the best for them just because they represent in our country, but just I see too many gaps. Each of them has a in my opinion, very significant gap that will keep them, in my opinion, from really sustaining a really strong, top tier career. I don't know that I really see any of them staying in the top 10. I think one or two of them might reach the top 10, but I don't think they're going to stay there. I don't think they're going to be like your your Tsitsipas's and your teams and your Zverevs and your Medvedevs and Rublevs and now Aslan Karatsev.
Right.
I think that's your top 10. I just think Americans, if they get there, they'll get there for a minute and then they're gonna be like, "What's an American doing in the top 10? Get yourself out of here and smack them out."
And honestly, who is the most promising person we have on the American men's side? I mean, maybe Korda.
I think he eventually will be. I think right now, if I'm really looking at form, as crazy as it sounds, and I know you mad at him from the Australian Open, but I still would give it to Fritz right now because I think Fritz is at least he's showing some at least sustainable good results. They not winning, but he's sticking. I have to tell you, bro, as much as I love what I saw out of Musetti, I was very disappointed in Francis Tiafoe. Very, very, very disappointed.
Right.
I feel like he should not have lost that match. I think I don't know if it's just, once again, it's not that level of consistency.
Right.
In the third set, I just saw a couple plays where I'm just like, what are you doing? This is the third set. You need to be locked in. You need to be bringing your A-game tennis. Don't be trying to flop to the net and do stuff that you're not comfortable with. You do that in a different set. You don't do it in the third set when you're supposed to be locked in. And I just saw that and I was just like, now see, this is what's going to hold me back from really being able to say you are going to be our leading force for American tennis because you're doing this stupid stuff. Come on now.
Right.
Bruh, tell me your thoughts on it, bruh.
Well, I think it's just like, I'm reading these comments. These folks are clowning. So Dwayne's out here talking about Tiafoe just happy to be out there, and that's not the first time we've heard that.
That's not the first time from someone.
Right, exactly. Right. I remember. People have listened to our interviews; they know who we're talking about. But then Dynasty brings up a very good point, which is he seems to lose these matches that he should be winning.
Exactly. And that goes a long way for me, for that particular player. You got to be able to beat the folk you're supposed to beat. And he's not doing it consistently, which, again, makes me question that noggin. Makes me question the noggin.
And this is what we were thinking Wayne Ferreira was going to bring to the table, right?
Right.
And
yeah, I don't know what's happening. I'm trying to stick with him. I'm always going to support him because he's a brother and, he's just trying to do his thing. But I am concerned because I just feel like there is just that. Once again, it's what we said about all the Americans. There is a gap in every single American. You can bring every single one of them up and I'll be like, that one got this gap, that one got that gap, that one got this one. So,
like Miles was saying in the comments, in that last match, Tiafoe was up 3-0 in the third.
Yeah. It just
you can't lose those matches, You
can't. Thank you. I realize you want to try some things, but how about winning? Just win. Just
exactly right.
Just win. How about that? You do some stuff on the practice court if you need to, but win.
So let's do this because we've come in hot, right?
And it's my fault. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm excited.
It's good. No. And Corey bringing up Sloane's name. No, we ain't got. No. We may get to that later, but all right.
Happy birthday, Sloane. It was Sloane's birthday on Saturday.
Wait a minute.
God bless you, baby.
And did you see that tweet from the USTA that said, congratulations, she was a 2016 U.S. Open finalist? Now, okay, first of all, the USTA, the U.S. Open is like your premier
That's your
event.
Premier event.
Right. You only have one male and one female champion a year. And most of the time, they're not American, right?
Correct.
And so how are you going to get that wrong?
Twice.
Right. I mean, she was the 2017. And she was the champion.
The winner.
Right. So who did you think she lost to in the finals of the U.S. Open?
Thank you.
If she was a finalist.
Thank you. How does that happen? And Bryce, you and I worked in, corporate America.
Mm-hmm.
There were always someone that would double check certain things before you send them out. When you got official stuff that's going out, you get that shit double checked.
Yeah.
How does that get released? First of all, how does the person even make that mistake? For one, I still don't get that.
And
but then how did it get out there?
But you had a very good point though, which is, and I guess it hadn't really resonated with me like that. They messed it up 2 different ways. It wasn't like
Twice.
At least if they had that she was the winner of 2016,
16.
Maybe that was a fat finger,
typo.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
That was a typo. That was a fat finger, right?
Exactly.
And then at least if you had said it was 2017, then you could say, well, they just get the black girls confused.
Exactly. That's what somebody said. They thought it was Keys.
Yeah, it was the other one, right?
But they messed it up both ways.
Wait a minute. Like Dr. Bob, it was one of them.
It was one of them.
I mean, like,
ooh,
seriously.
Lord.
But she messed up the year and her finishing position. And then want to tell her happy birthday. Now, if this message had come from the French Federation or Tennis Australia, something like that, I'm like, okay, they good. It was a thought that counted. They messed up the data. They still should have got it right because it was tennis.
Correct.
But, okay, right?
Right.
But it was the USTA.
Correct. It's your tournament. That's in your backyard. And you can't even get your champions right, nor get the results that they accomplished. Correct.
On their birthday.
On their birthday. Happy birthday to you.
I tell you, we have come in real. Hey, y'all people in the comments, y'all stop sending us stuff for a moment so we can get through what we need to talk about. Because you're sending us in all these different directions, right?
Man.
You're triggering us.
We're going to talk about exactly.
Triggering us.
Triggering us. Because when we see it, we're going to talk about this shit. Come on now. Don't make no damn sense.
Right. So let's do this. Let's talk about the tournaments from last week.
Yes, let's get into it.
And we'll start with the ladies.
Hey, Renee.
And let's start with, since we're talking about Russians, let's start with the St. Petersburg tournament. That was there in St. Petersburg, Russia. Yes. And I'm just going to say, I didn't get the final that I wanted because once I saw the semifinal brackets, I said, if I can get me an old school Zvonareva versus Svitolina, Kuznetsova final. Yeah, that would have been that would have been a great old school final for sure. Yes, yeah. I kind of on the back of my, I was kind of like that would be kind of dope having that final. But if you do recall, I said watch out for somebody. Watch out for. Oh, was it Kasatkina?
When we saw that draw, I was just like, I don't know what's up, but y'all better watch out for that Kasatkina.
It's just hard to trust her.
I agree.
The talent is there. I have no problem with acknowledging that. It's just hard to trust her, man. You just don't know. Right.
And I agree with you. Sometimes, again, in the past, because she got game, like you just said, she got game. It don't make no sense that she's really fallen into this hole that she's been in. But I think she's finally now trying to climb back out of that. And I saw some good things from her the previous week. And mind you, I think she's already won a tournament this season.
Yeah, she's the only person to have won 2 titles so far this year. Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, all right. I was like, she trying to get herself right. Yeah, she played like them Russians. Exactly. So she like, okay, all right. I can get that spirit. So, hey, kudos to her, man. I actually like that young lady. I like her just, her thought process and her game. And it's nice to see her back to her winning ways. Remember, that was that one, was it the Miami Open final? Who did she play? Did she play, I'm trying to think. She played a final, and it might have been against Naomi a couple years back. I think it was Naomi ended up taking the title. But yeah, Kasatkina was in the final with her. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong now. Don't put me out on blast like the USTA. But I'm pretty sure Kasatkina played in either the Miami or the Indian Wells final, and I believe it was against Osaka, but she lost.
Yeah.
And that might have been what caused her to crash. Okay. Naomi and Indian Wells. Thank you, Ma. There you go.
So congratulations to Kasatkina for winning the Russian Open and for her getting her second title this year. So we'll see if she's able to translate these wins into a really successful season.
Yes.
Now, the other tournament we had going on now actually St. Petersburg was a 500 level tournament, which was surprising based upon the level of names that they had there.
Yeah.
Now, what was a 250 and felt very much like a 250 was the Monterey tournament they had.
Yeah. Yep.
And we had first-time winner, Leylah Fernandez, Paul's girl.
Absolutely. Paul, like I said, Leylah, listen. So Leylah will never. Shouldn't be so mean.
No, go ahead. Say it.
She won't make my varsity squad. She just never will, because I don't necessarily see her winning a Grand Slam, or I just feel like she just her her stature and everything.
Right.
But I love how she competes. I love her leftiness. I love the fact that she takes it off the ground. I love the fact that she gets into the net and she ain't afraid of the net. Will put away some volleys. I like that young lady's game, and I like her ferocity when she's out on the court. I like the focus.
Right.
So I was extremely happy when she won that title, and when she let the tears flow and everything. Yeah. I was like that. I was very, very, very happy for her. And you know what's so funny to me? Okay, so we in Monterey. I gotta say this real quick, because this shows how dumb I am. So we in Monterey, and she's Canadian, right? And so I'm like, Canada, they speak English, they speak French. I'm like, but she in Monterey, she was like, she gonna speak English and they'll translate it to Spanish. She got up in there and was just like, yo tengo blah 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 blah. And I was like, Isaac, you are the dumbest person on earth. Her name is Leylah Fernandez.
Right. Exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah. She probably knew Spanish before she knew English. So,
quietly. Yeah, she is definitely multilingual, and like I said, very impressive. What were your thoughts on Leylah? Because I know that you haven't. I don't say that you weren't slammed or anything, but she definitely hasn't been on your radar. What were your thoughts about her week and her accomplishment?
I'm very happy for her. I like her personally, but these are the type of tournaments that I think she can win.
Right.
And I think she will regularly regulate on the folks that are ranked below 50.
The B squads, yeah.
Right, but the ladies with the big games,
no.
I mean, a Sabalenka, a Muguruza, Farina. I mean, she can't. No.
Yeah, she lightweight.
But like you said, maybe one day, she'll be on my JV squad.
Right.
Because I like to root for her personally. But it's hard to think that she would do. I mean, she'd have to develop a major weapon.
Right.
For her to become a factor at some of the larger tournaments. But, like this 250 in Monterey, I mean, she may be able to regulate on the 250 tour.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting just to see, because again, she is still, she's either 18 or 19. She might be 18. I can't remember. But, hopefully she'll continue to grow, mature, because who I think about when I think about, her stature is someone like a Sibakova. Now, Sibakova did not win a Grand Slam, but she did make it to a final. Right. She was feisty, but she had a heavier game, and she would always own up on Maria. Yeah, because she would own up on Maria Sharapova. She was like, Sharapova, come here, girl. I got you. But she had, like you said, she had a heavier game, so it'll be interesting to see how Leylah develops, and if she can develop, like you said, a weapon or something a little bit additional that's going to be able to bring her up a bit more. But I do like the young lady. I'm very happy for her.
Right. And before we get off of the Monterey tournament, I want to make sure we acknowledge on the doubles side, we had two American women, Caroline Dolehide and our girl Asia Muhammad.
That's right.
They took the title. So that.
Yes, sir.
We give a little clap there. So we wanted to make sure we acknowledge, that great performance.
Right.
And that helps us transition into well, I'm not going to make that, and if y'all think I'm going to be putting shade on him. So let's stay in Mexico, and let's go to the tournament in Acapulco. And
Yes.
this one was one that had a really good draw, right? I mean,
Yes.
I'm reading off of here, Tsitsipas and Zverev and Schwartzman and Raonic and Dimitrov and Fognini and FAA, and it was a great draw.
That draw was fat.
500 level, right?
Absolutely.
And we had some very interesting performances. So before we get to the finals, which we had the number 1 and number 2 seeds meet,
Yes.
Tsitsipas versus Zverev, which is what probably most people predicted. We had 2 other players that really showed out this week. And Isaac, first of all, your thoughts on Musetti, these Italians.
These Italians are coming up. To me, the Italians are right behind the Russians as it relates to folks who are just showing out and about to have some really, strong Davis Cup team, ATP Cup, whatever you want to call it. Musetti impressed me a lot. I saw him, a few times before. I think I saw him on clay, so maybe that's why I wasn't as, I guess, sold on him as I was this week. But when I saw him on hard court, I was like, this young man got some game. He got some game. I love that one-handed backhand. It's a beautiful shot. I'm sitting here doing this. It's a beautiful, beautiful shot. And he has a really nice, aesthetically pleasing looking game. And again, he's a teenager and he's got confidence. And he ain't afraid to get it over the finish line. He's not afraid of winning. And that to me was, again, while I was happy for him in that Tiafoe match, it's what made me very disappointed in Tiafoe. You got to win those matches. That to me, and that's a statement match. That's somebody who is 5 years younger than you. You used to be the young kid on the block. You're not that anymore. So to let someone who is 18-year-old come up and scratch out a 3-setter on you, that just didn't feel good for me for Tiafoe. But Musetti, I'm sold. I am sold. How about you, bro? What were your thoughts?
Well, I want to answer Miles' question here. He said, when y'all say Italians, who else besides Berrettini? So when you look at the Italian squad, and you still have Fognini there, you have Berrettini, you have Musetti, you have Sonego.
Don't forget Sinner.
And you got Sinner.
I was about to say, don't forget Sinner.
That's
to me,
that's a pretty strong squad, Miles.
He's going to be the premier guy. I mean, and Bryce, I want your opinion on this. And I don't mean to jump tournaments, and we can jump back, but since we're talking about the Italians, I want to bring this up.
Okay.
What were your thoughts, though, when he was playing Aslan Karatsev? Because I have to say, for the first time, I felt like he showed a little bit of his age. I felt like he was a little bit immature on the court. All of the constant fist pumping to his box, and then all of the kind of dramatics when he wasn't. I hadn't seen that from him before, and it kind of, I was like, where is that coming from, Sinner? Because I haven't seen that from you before. So maybe it was a bad day. I'm praying it's a bad day, but I didn't like that look on him, and I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Well, once again, I think it just all goes back to Karatsev, because the thing is, people are thinking about Karatsev like he's this new up-and-coming guy, right? Which he is in terms of performance, right? But he's 27.
Correct.
And he's been around the block. So he has a maturity that a center does not have yet.
Correct.
Right? So center, first of all, was like, okay, first of all, who is this dude that I'm not able to just hit off the court? And then number two, not only can I not hit him off the court, he obviously got it a little tighter upstairs than I do. So I think it's exactly what you said. Sinner is still, 19, whatever.
He's 19,
he's a kid.
He's a kid.
Karatsev almost has a decade on him. And plus he's been through adversity and injuries and bad hairstyle and all that kind of stuff. So, have you seen the pictures of Karatsev when he looks like Napoleon Dynamite?
I did. I was like, all right, son.
If I were him, now that he got some coin in his pocket, I would hire somebody on the internet of things And I
Wipe
would be
it.
like, go find that picture and take it off every single server in the world, because I'm trying to get my brand going now. I got my new thing
Right.
going.
I got
I
my
don't
new
need
thing
people.
going.
I don't need people put like Michael Jackson. Like, I don't need to see the pictures with the old nose. I just, just keep my stuff tight, So
I know that's right, brother. Yes.
anyway, so. And then the other
Oh,
person that had an amazing performance that made it to the semifinals as well, you all would
yeah.
know who is somebody on my squad.
Hmm.
Well, he's on my JV squad, but he's trying to get to varsity, is Dominique Kepfer.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's something about the very first time I saw him play, I liked his game because not only was it kind of scrappy, but there was definite skill there
Right.
as well. And
Right.
y'all, we did an interview that you haven't heard yet. And there's a story. It's the interview we did with Rodney Rapson, and I guess that'll be released in a couple of weeks or so. He's going to tell you, listen to that interview, because he's going to tell you a story about Dominique Kepfer that if you weren't already a fan of his, you will be jumping on
You'll
the
be a fan.
bandwagon and becoming a fan as well. So having just heard that story, Isaac, that we just heard,
Yes.
and yes, Miles, thanks.
That's it.
Although he's German, he came over here to school in Tulane.
Yep.
So repping Louisiana, we love that. But, I was so excited to see him do well this week. What's up, Paul?
Look,
And,
Paul.
we want to, like I said, I'm a big supporter of Kupfer, and so I hope he does really well. But, I could see it in his eyes. I don't know if you could, Isaac, in that semifinal.
Hmm.
I guess when you come from a country and you're playing against like the icon
The
of
icon. Right.
current day of that sport,
Right.
you could kind of tell he was kind of like, oh, I'm playing Zverev, and he
Yeah.
tried hard and everything, but there was a little like, I'm playing the top guy from my country, and I think that affected him a little bit. And don't get me wrong, Zverev played well. He did.
Yes, he
He
did.
actually
He
came
did.
back because Kepler should have
Yeah.
won that second set.
Hmm.
He should have
Hmm.
absolutely won that second set. But let me tell you what, a semifinal performance in a 500 level tournament
Yeah.
for okay, Paul, we see your message. We'll hit you up. Um, you know, this was an amazing result for him. So I'm extremely happy.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a great result. I think it's one of his bigger results of his career thus far, which is really awesome. So very happy for him. Like I said, I know he was on your JV squad. He's been someone I've been looking at and really been impressed with. And like you said, it just solidified it once we had the discussion with Rodney and he told us of his generosity. It's a beautiful thing.
Right.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
on to the final.
yeah.
See, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to leave it with you, Isaac.
All right.
It's matches like these where I kind of have now CC Pass at the bottom of that next group of players. I've been saying he's at the bottom because of the backhand, which is still true. I mean,
Right.
that backhand has got to get tightened up.
It's got to get better. Yeah.
But he has a little bit of that not pulling out matches he's supposed to pull out.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you there because if you looked at his form when they started that match, the first like 5-6 games, he looked incredible. I mean, his execution was on point.
Right.
And it's funny because even the Tennis Channel announcers were kind of like, we don't know how Zverev pulled out that match, but somehow he did. And I was like, exactly. I don't understand. I can't put my finger on what he changed, but it just flipped. And I feel like CC Pass was trying to do a few too many drop shots.
Right.
It got to a point where it's like, all right, bro, pull that back in because he started missing it and at critical times. And I was like, okay, you need to pull that back in. And he just kept going after that. And it just seemed like his confidence fell off a bit. And you got to give it to Zverev. Zverev was like getting showed out. I mean, he was getting smacked around them first few games. And then finally he was just like, wow, wait a minute. Now, I am better than this. And he just started putting the pedal to the metal. And I mean, I still don't know exactly what caused that whole change. But it's like you said, Tsitsipas has got a few gaps, and I think also mentally there was just a little bit of fragility there that kind of hit me, and I was like, but at the same time, it's funny that I'm saying that because this is also the same guy that came from 2 sets to love behind on Rafael Nadal at the Australian Open.
It's amazing how that happened.
Yeah.
Maybe so Rafa's back really was hurting.
You right? I mean, because I don't know where to put him now. Because to me, he still is showing me signs that he, isn't quite there. But then you go back to a match like that he had against Rafa. So I can't call it, Bryce. He's confusing me a lot. But I can tell you at the end of the day, I was extremely disappointed that he at least didn't get that into a third set. And the fact that, he allowed Zverev to come back on him and then take it in straight sets or championship, that shame on you. Shame on you.
They had played 6 times and Tsitsipas had won the last 5.
5, yeah.
But like I said, I want to make sure we don't take away from Zverev. Zverev played some points. His serve may not have been completely popping, but his ground strokes were on.
Ground strokes? Did you see him down the line shots he was hitting?
I did.
I was like laser beams, yo. It was I forgot that you could hit a backhand that damn hard. And, because it was like a Del Potro forehand.
Right.
It looked like. I did not know he had that level of power on that side. So he surprised me, I have to say. I don't like the kid that much, but his game is tight, yo. His game is tight. Yeah.
Well, before we get out of Mexico, we want to make sure hey Rick, what's up? We want to make sure that we acknowledge in the doubles of that tournament, we had the Skupski brothers.
Yeah.
They're back together.
Skupskis are back.
I'm sure because of preparation for the Olympics.
Right.
But that was a good win because they took out the number 2 and the number 1 seeds.
Right.
To win the tournament. So I like Ken because he just looked like somebody daddy out there. He just, he
really does.
He's like, conditioning be damned. I'm just out here running around.
I'm just out here trying to play, right?
My brother needs somebody to play with. I said, come on out here. Well,
exactly.
Well, I keep forgetting we're on Instagram, so we have to be very mindful.
We only got
of
that
time.
hour. That's right.
So let's go to the real tournament we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Which is the tournament in Dubai.
Yes.
For the men. And this was really, honestly, let me just say this. It was a shame that both Karatsev and Harris couldn't win this tournament. Because let's give props where props are due, first of all. Harris, once he got into the second round, took out Thiem, Krajinovic, Nishikori, and Shapovalov.
Crazy wins.
Right?
Crazy. I was like, Lloyd Harris was like, listen, y'all bitches gonna get out my way. Because I got things I need to do. Y'all bitches move.
Right.
Move.
Right.
Dude, Bryce, impressive stuff. And what I didn't catch, do you know his coach is Xavier Malisse?
Yeah, I saw that. I don't think I knew that either. Yeah.
I caught that at the end. I was like, wait a minute, that's Xavier Malisse. See, folks, Xavier Malisse used to be my dude. So I was really like, good stuff. Good stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, his bad fortune was that
bad.
Our son, I'm sorry, I am just claiming Karatsev. Nobody else can. Brothers on 10, he's ours.
He's ours. He's ours. Exactly.
So Karatsev was like, if y'all thought the Australian Open was a fluke, I got something here for you. And after let me find his path. After he got out of the first round, he showed Daniel Evans what time it was, told Sonego to go back to Italy, said, come get your boy Sinner in the next round, and then told Rublev, ain't nobody scared of you.
Ain't nobody scared of you.
I know your game, and I can hit as hard as you can, and guess what? My backhand is tight.
Bryce. See, we could take a whole hour just to break down Aslan Karatsev's game. That backhand, Whoo, that backhand is mean. It is so clean and so consistent. I love that cross court backhand. It's just,
And the angles
it's like
he can
butter.
get.
Them angles, bruh. His game is so good to me, bruh.
Right.
I love that dude. Everything about that dude, I love. Simply put.
And you know
everything.
something that people are not talking about that is crazy good in his game? Have you checked out his hands at the net?
Exactly. He's got such a complete game, Bryce. And again, I don't understand how you can be someone that I have not heard of. Because you and I, we follow tennis and we follow tennis for 20 plus years.
Right.
I had not heard of Aslan Karatsev before this pandemic. Right. And the minute he played the first event, both you and I, because I remember we talked
we
one
another.
We
sure did.
We was like,
who is this dude?
Who is this dude? He got some skills.
Right.
And Bryce, I tell you, bro, I'm impressed with him like nobody's business. I am big time on his bandwagon. Every time I look at him, I feel like I need to go to the gym and just focus on leg day. His foundation is solid.
Right.
He moves very efficiently. I love that guy, bro.
Right. And we got Rick out here talking about if it's not a one-hand backhand, it's cheating. So tell that to Borg and Agassi and Serena. And they some cheating mugs.
Some cheating. Just cheating.
So let's put all of this into perspective, right?
Yes.
So not only did he qualify for the Australian Open, make it all the way to the semifinals where he lost to Djokovic. No shame in that,
no
right?
Shame in that, correct.
And the last tournament in Doha that he got in as a wild card, he lost the team. No shame in that.
No shame in that.
In the second round.
Exactly.
He comes here. He wins Dubai, a 500 level tournament where he stops the streak of his own countryman who had won 22, 23
exactly
matches in a row at this level. Crazy. And they are legitimately predicting that he is going to end the year in the top 10.
Absolutely. In fact, I honestly think he's going to be trying to get up in the top 5. Some folk in the top 5 better watch their spot. I honestly believe he's going to be fighting to get one of them top 5 spots.
Right.
We'll have to see how he does on clay and grass, of course. I get concerned about that. But let me see. I'm gonna start talking again. We ain't got but a couple minutes. But
you know what we're gonna do, Isaac, because we haven't even gotten to the Miami draw. Okay. So let's wrap up Karatsev. Let's give him his flowers.
Give him his flowers.
And then we will restart this.
Okay.
And we'll go into the Miami draws for next week.
I like that. that. Yeah. So again, Aslan. Again, you got to give Lloyd his due because he showed out, played an incredible tournament. But and here's the other thing, Bryce, how you gonna get in your first final and give somebody a whole biscuit? I need you to really, really let that marinate in your spirit. You got to your first ATP final where you're supposed to be nervous. You're supposed to be feeling all these feelings. That bitch got up in there and was like, I'm about to serve somebody up. Ain't nobody scared of you. I'm about to get this title and I'm going to get a whole bunch more going forward. I'm about to get it.
Right.
Bruh, speak on that.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. We talk about his technique and how good his game is. The other thing I absolutely love about this guy is his demeanor. He don't act like he's impressed with nothing he's doing. He's like, I'm just coming out here doing what I do.
I do what I do.
And when he won that, at first when we saw him not really have any, excitement after the Rublev thing, when we were thinking, okay, he's being respectful of his boy. His doubles partner, who he just picked up a title with the week before.
Exactly.
So he went in singles and doubles. After winning this title, he looked like it was just like another day on the courts.
He was like, I expect myself to do this.
Right.
What? I know, looking at it like, what? No, this is what I do. This is my job. This is what I do.
So listeners, just understand from now on out, because we are claiming Karatsev as our guy. We found him by ourselves.
That's
He's
right.
ours. We will always have the Karatsev watch on Brothers on Tennis. And you know what?
Always.
I need to go ahead and reach out to him. And he needs to just come on here, and we need to put a Brothers on Tennis patch on his back.
Correct.
And this is
And let
this
it
is the
be.
new guy. This is
Yeah,
the new
just
guy.
be like you with us. So there you go.
I need to see him and Medvedev play.
Correct.
I need to see what that looks like.
Yes, I agree with you. And it has to
Right.
be a hard court. I don't want to see them on no clay or no grass.
No,
Because
no.
that's not going to give you the full
Right.
effect. They got to
Right.
play on a hard court.
Right.
And then we'll see. Then we'll see what's up.
So congratulations to Karatsev for. I mean, that's a huge title. If you go back and you look at the previous champions, they are all either Djokovic or Federer. I think RBA is in there once, and then there was somebody else. But basically, Federer and Djokovic have owned this tournament. Now, granted, they weren't there, but you would have thought somebody else would have gotten this title, not Karatsev. So
Correct.
He is in Miami. What we're going to do right now, because we have gotten our absolute gab on tonight, you people in the comments, y'all have triggered us to go all tangential and everything, and we ain't been able to stay focused. We're going to end this so we don't get cut off by Instagram, but we're going to start it right back up because we want to talk to you about these Miami draws. So drop off and come back and join us. All right. Talk to you in a few.